after 2 years and 10 months that we finally have a report that we've been waiting on. We've been waiting on this for a very long time. And I've got teams that are working right now. Hopefully we actually have the report so we can start digesting what's in it, seeing what our next steps are going to be.
When you were hearing some of the items as she described what some of the findings were, did you find areas where you believe that that the department is doing an excellent job in there and there's some rebuttal that you want to give? Do you want to give any rebuttal to what you've heard immediately?
It's hard to give any rebuttal, Mike, when I haven't seen the report. What I can tell you is these reports typically show incidents that have occurred over a period of time. I don't even know the period of time that this report is covering. So being able to uncover some of those facts are going to be interesting. What I can tell you from my time here, the women and men of this police department do an incredibly difficult job and do great work that I see every single day and put themselves at risk to the point of, I've had 3 officers shot in the line of duty this year. I have an officer stabbed in the neck. That is where they put themselves out to protect the community and do the right thing. And I'm confident that 99% of the time that's what we're doing out there. When we don't, we hold ourselves accountable.
Chief, one of the areas, and I know it's hard on specific items, but one of the things that she said is that the Phoenix Police Department trains their officers in escalation, and then it leads to de-escalation later. But she actually said that they have found that your agency trains your officers on escalating a situation only to de-escalate it later. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the report, how they document that and, how they came to that finding.
Yeah, because, Chief, you and I have had conversations on the air, and you've been kind with that, and even off the air about your focus on de-escalation and how that's the key to many situations not getting out of control. I found that to be surprising that they actually accuse the agency of training your officers to escalate a situation.
Yeah, it's surprising. One of the things that I made sure that I brought in initially when I came here was a de-escalation program that's evidence-based. A national program that all our officers are in the process of going through right now, and is being very well received, and we're seeing performance improve on the street because of that training. So, once again, I look forward to seeing the evidence behind, how they came to those conclusions.
So let me ask about that as far as the evidence goes. The way I've understood it is that there may not be a lot of evidence of this afforded to you unless there's some kind of disclosure in court, that there may be more lengthy things in the report. But will they give you specific incidents that they're talking about that you can discuss, or is this going to be more of an overview for you?
If you look at previous reports, Mike, and that's all I have to go by at this point, is they usually give, examples of reports. I'll be interested to see if they take into account what the department has done in reaction to some of these incidents. Was there discipline on officers? Was there a change in policy? Was there a change in practice? I think all those things are very, very important for us to consider when we look at it, and it'll be interesting to see if the report took that into consideration.
And one other thing, and I know it's hard for you because you haven't seen the report, but I'm going by the highlights and how it struck me. When they talked about behavioral health and 911 calls, the Phoenix Police Department kind of revolutionized policing, and they actually got an award from the Department of Justice for handling mental health calls and training squads of officers to respond to those. Were you a bit surprised with all the work the Phoenix Police Department had done before you were here and since you've been here, that this is one of the areas of the accusation?
And it's not just the Phoenix Police Department, Mike. It's the city of Phoenix. Our Office of Homeless Solutions does incredible work. Our outreach and, our ability to divert calls is, I've got experience in multiple cities, Mike. What we're doing here is innovative, and we get calls from around the country on a regular basis. We have clinicians that are in our 911 centers that help us divert calls. Certainly we would love to be able to divert everything and have capacity all the way around. So once again, understanding how they came to that finding is going to be something that I'm going to ask the team to be able to dig into and explain to me.
And lastly, Chief, one of the things they alluded to at the end is that there are many reforms that have been proposed by you. She mentioned you by name. And I think it's because of your reputation and work in this in other cities that you are considered nationally an expert in dealing with these issues. But they said that many of these reforms are only on paper and not yet implemented. Can you address any of that? Because I know it's not, you don't just snap your fingers and make things happen. What are some of the changes that you are planning and that are coming that she might have been alluding to?
I guess you could be alluding to the use of force policy. It takes time to be able to put that in, and to do it correctly, you have to train the entire force. We've got about 2/3 of the force through the use of force training, and we'll complete that in the next several months before we can hold ourselves accountable to the new use of force policy. Certainly, change takes time, but I think we've been moving in a very fast pace over the last 2 years, and would hate to have anything that would slow us down. We want to be effective and efficient with our improvements.
And finally, Chief, and I appreciate your time and all of this time, can you please address the Phoenicians that are listening, the people in the city of Phoenix, and also your officers that may be listening? What do you have to say to the community, and what do you have to say to your officers in light of what you just heard? What do they need to know from your office that's going to happen next?
First off, to the community, we are committed to fair and equitable policing in this police department. And we work very, very hard to make sure that occurs every single day. And we talk about all the time with the officers, making sure that we provide the services to residents and how important our job is. And I've been talking to officers for a long time about this, since I got here, because I knew what this day would feel like to them. It would truly feel like a gut punch. And, I'm sure that's what's out there today. These officers do incredibly dangerous, difficult work. We need to love on them. We need to appreciate them. There's reasons why we have challenges with recruiting people, because there's few people that have the mettle to go out and do this work. And we need to make sure that we appreciate them. And the citizens and residents of Phoenix need to, know that we're here for them, and we'll continue to be here for them.
Chief Sullivan, I appreciate the time as always, and I look forward to talking to you once you've digested the report to get a more comprehensive look at what you're seeing. But thank you so much for your time today.
No, thank you for allowing me to talk to some folks today. I appreciate it, Mike.
All right, that is Chief Michael Sullivan, the interim police chief of the city of Phoenix. And we're going to talk more about this as the hours go on, but I would say this again. I have watched the Phoenix Police Department, and they take pride in the fact that they have been a self-assessing, self-correcting agency. They've never claimed to be perfect, but they have said that excellence is always their goal. And the chief was brought in over 2 years ago, or about 2 years ago, because of his expertise in dealing with consent decrees and DOJ investigations. He is nationally known as being an expert in this, from Louisville to Baltimore to the city of Phoenix. So they've been proactive even in this process. So I would ask Phoenicians to be patient and look at this comprehensively as the days go on. And I agree with the chief. We need to make sure we're thanking the men and women doing this job, because being told that you are racist and being told that you are abusive and being told that you are over-aggressive and not good at your job is the last thing an officer wants or needs to hear. Today's the day that Phoenix should give their support even more than they always do